First of all, I would like to thank Naveen and his team for the efforts that they're doing. Usually, when we judge an organization or an entity, usually we judge it by the customer experience that we have. I would like to share an experience that I had with a customer service. I wanted to buy a gift for my wife in our anniversary that I always forget. And that time I said, okay, this time I have to save myself and try to buy a gift. And I just remember it in the same day. So what I did is that I have to buy a very fast gift that I can send. And I was lucky because it was a very short time and I cannot buy a very expensive gift. So what I did is that I went to a website and I selected these fruits that you know that they design with chocolates and that. And I said I will send it back home to the US. And when I was buying, I was just looked at the time that it was a very short time. And when I entered the zip code, it showed me the nearest place that I can send the basket from. And I said, okay, I'm gonna pay now with my credit card. If that gift is not going to reach at the same time, then I will be in trouble again. So what I did is that I found in the website, it says live chat, which is a contact center. I clicked that, and I found somebody chatting with me. It was late, it was almost 2 o'clock here. Started chatting and made sure that this gift will reach at the same time. And I immediately went and used my credit card and I bought, and I make the order. This way, give us a trust in these kind of companies, providing a good customer service for their end users. We believe that private sectors, they realized this and they started these kind of efficient contact center for their customers. But lately now here in Saudi Arabia, some government agencies start realizing that achieving a best and good quality of services and achieving their vision and mission is by providing a very good customer services. And one of these organizations the organization that I came from, we have now a call center or contact center, let me call it, as what Ahmed will explain to us what's the difference between call center and contact center, that we started serving our customers through an efficient contact center supported by a good customer service management system with over 100 agents that they are serving our customers. And usually if you open that channel and it went wrong, that will be a very big fire on you. So we have to be careful of establishing this channel. And today our speakers will take us through a journey of their experience. In this panel, we will discuss how the information synchronization and availability in the contact center environment. Additionally, we will elaborate on the National Contact Center and give example of related softwares and tools available in the market. I would like, first of all, to welcome our first speaker, Mr. Ibrahim Hamad. He's a leader in MEE IT services in SABIC. Some of his experience includes technology architecture, integration, e-commerce strategy, development, vendor contact management, and CRM. I would like also to welcome to the stage our second speaker, Mr. Ahmad AlKhiary, Deputy Director General and CTO of Yasser. He's previously worked for 12 years in Research and Development Department of the Ministry of Defense. His technical and administrative experience includes government, corporate communication, and business process enablement through IT. I would like also to welcome Mr. Ahmed Afifi. Mr. Ahmed Afifi has over 14 years of experience in BPO and ICT sector, working with major Fortune 500 companies. including AT&T, Vodafone, and British Telecom. I would like, first of all, to start with you, Mr.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. First of all, I would like to thank you for the organizers for organizing such an important event where we are talking about the role of information technology and how it's doing into our e-governments, into our public sector, and even into our daily life. Before talking about the contact center, which is a main component of enabling the e-government, I would like to just show a brief trending of the e-government. And I believe the gentlemen yesterday and today they have touched upon on this subject too much. So the main message that I would like to talk about is the IT is really the enablement of today, day-to-day activities into operations of our life, even personal life. You can think about the technology that you're using on a daily basis and how this is enabling our e-government. You can imagine how we are getting the passport before 1 year and how we are getting now the renewal of your passport online. So we are talking about e-government, also smart government, and Gartner says that there will be something called digital government that is coming on 2015 onwards. So back to the contact center topic, here I'm showing a hype cycle of the contact center services and technologies, and this is used by Gartner to predict the maturity level of the services and technologies related to the contact center, expectations of the products or the services against their time, and how the maturity on this cycle is moving. And this will be really helpful for the architect of the contact center, the CIOs, to understand how these services are operating. On the left side of this graph, you would see the less maturity services or technologies. For example, the video chat for customer. It is something grooming up, but still it's not yet mature. And in the middle of this graph, you would see the somewhat maturity, the mature product or services. For example, the contact center workforce optimization. It's not yet that much of mature. And on the right side of this graph, you would see the maturity or the high maturity level of such technologies and products. For example, the contact center systems and the workforce management in contact centers. So we can spend hours on discussing this graph, but this is very important for decision makers, how they are taking decisions into explaining or predicting the trend and maturity of the technologies relating to contact centers. Expanding the role of the contact center. I mean, a lot of people are mixing between call center and contact center. And for the normal public, they are using the call center more frequently than contact center. Actually, they are not the same. The call center is basically a simple process, and it is between a guy who is using a telephone and answering by a guy who is using also a telephone, but there is no back-end processes helping the customer. So it's just like a reactive mode, just taking the inquiry and passing it to another team. This have evolved and have improved a lot during the last 90s till 2000 and till this century, and we see that there is a big improvement and emphasis in the process optimization and in the migrating to the self-services channels. We are seeing a lot of process optimization, making the process easier, making it fast, and a lot of self-services where these two factors are really differentiating the competitiveness advantages from a contact center to another. In this slide, you will see the channels utilization since the 90s till today. And you can see that in early 90s, there has been a lot of focus on the human agent as a main channel of access. But this have decreased dramatically till our day by more than 50%. And you can see the increase on the self-services where people usually prefer utilizing the self-services technology and feature as their preferred channel. Now, for those who are responsible to build a contact center, we have a framework that is very important to be realized by the contact centers owners or managers. And basically, the contact center will be focusing on 3 angles: the customer, who should drive the customer and the contact center itself, and the support, back-end support. In the customer perspective, we are talking about the access channel required. And the more we have access channel for the customer, we are making it easier for them. And when it comes to the contact center block, we do have a people management, how we are going to recruit people, retain them, ensuring they are competitive, and how we are doing the coaching and feedback for them, and how we are doing our customer service provisioning, how we are delivering the service to the customer acquisitions, how we are marketing our solution. And when it comes to operational management, we are talking here about the KPIs we are setting for our contact center, how we are ensure we are meeting our SLAs with the customer, understanding the business and meeting with them. And on the right side, you will see the support, and these are the back-end processes supporting our contact center. For example, the workflow management and the self-services tool and the core IT systems. So what are the 10 considerations when planning contact center strategy? The first one is lowering cost and reducing complexity. The second one is business continuity and ensuring that we do have high availability for our contact center, because some customers are not accepting to have the call center down because they are used to have and used to utilize their service 24/7. So it's not like working from 7:30 to 4. No, people are using it around the clock. Meeting service level with your customer, your agreement. Driving first call resolution, which is the most important KPI for contact center measurement, how much you resolve in the first contact. Hiring and retaining agents. It is well known that the contact center is one of the high attrition percentages. Offloading agent with self-services. The more self-services we provide into our contact center, the more efficient and the more customer satisfaction we are having. Proactively building customer relationship management. It's not only setting a contact center and that's it. You need to meet with your public. You need to have customer surveys to ensure that you are building up and changing and improving. Relating contact center performance to business results, how the contact center is really helping the business in improving their operations. Sourcing, outsourcing strategies. Some companies, they are thinking of the contact center as something that need to be offshored, depending on their business model. And some companies, no, they say they should have it on a premise. And the last one is integrating the contact center with business applications. The more technology and integration that we have in our contact center, the more powerful that we have. So the bottom line is actually a contact center can offer an improved customer satisfaction, it can reduce cost and increase profitability. However, the true value from a contact center investment will be realized fully with an automated back-end processes. The last slide that I have here is I will talk to you about our experience in SABIC and how we implemented our global contact center. We have a global contact center based in Jubail, and it is serving SABIC employees internally, and we are offering this service for 40,000 employees globally in China, in Asia, in America and Europe, and in Middle East, of course, utilizing the technologies that we have, the global one and the self-services tools. So in 2005, we started a help desk operation, and the scope of that was only serving MENA services. Then we have sought a global certification called Help Desk Institute. This is a global certification to assess our maturity level and how we can improve it into our services. Then we made a customer survey to see what they want from us and how we can improve our operations. Then we have enhanced our self-services, and we have offloaded the agents from about 30% of their calls. Then we did some quality assurance practices by recording the calls, monitoring the calls of the agents to ensure that we are delivering a high level of customer satisfaction. Then we have obtained the ISO certification, and this certification was relating basically to the quality of service. And part of our continual service improvement process, we are always trying to seek certifications, global, international ones, to ensure that we are improving into our SABIC operation business. Then we have increased our service menu. Since we reached to a certain level of maturity, we have offloaded some of the calls to the self-services. Then we start to automate our back-end processes, and we have removed about 40% of the incoming calls to the help desk to be done through the automated processes. Last year end, we have operated the help desk and we have shifted it from operating only in Middle East and Africa to be serving SABIC globally around the globe. This is how it looks currently in Jubail, and really it's not only a contact center. We have a lot of visits from government agencies, from other companies, public sector, private sector, and I welcome you all. If you have a chance when you visit Jubail, we can arrange a visit and we can learn from each other. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Abdalla. Thank you very much. Presentation. Mr. Ahmed will take us on a journey with your experience with Ahmed, the National Contact Center.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Can we start the presentation, please? First slide. In principle, AMR is one of the national initiatives which is a result of the second strategy and action plan for e-government. The second strategy and action plan includes 6 work streams. One of them, it includes about 46 different initiatives. One of them is establishing a government call center that serves the government for all government services. AMR was started early 2013. It's almost 1 year right now since it started. The call center serves 2 primary functions. The primary objective is basically to provide information about government services regardless of their nature and location. And the second thing is to provide a mechanism for follow-up. Where does a government service stand? So when I apply for any government service from the subscribing agencies, I will be able to follow up what is the status, where did it go, what is stopping it from completion. If I need more information about its status, there is a full integration that takes place between the government agency and the call center to provide information and follow up. And if there is any specific issue that requires attention from the agency, a ticket is automatically opened on their CRM so they can find out what is needed. Maybe there is a fault in the service itself, or there is a service that requires attention from the business unit that is handling the service, and so on. So, and there is a very tight SLA between the various agencies and the call center so that response is fast. In principle, we call AMR the comfort zone because it reacts in a slightly different manner. I mean, it provides immediate response, and it provides a unified channel for all government agencies, so that you can remember one number instead of remembering so many numbers, where our phones are flooded with numbers. So right now you need to remember one number only, which is 199-099, which is the unified number that everybody needs to remember. That same number you call, it's the same number you text, it's the same number you type on the internet to reach the services. AMR objectives basically focus on releasing the pressure from the various government agencies into a single place. It provides a simplified process to provide support for government services. It releases each government agency from developing their own call center and manning the call center, managing the call center, providing the necessary infrastructure for the call center, maintaining the functionality, communicating through various channels. So it's some sort of a shared infrastructure that any government agency can utilize to get a full service, like which is the nature of all services provided by Yasser. There are 8 channels today through which you can reach the center. These channels are the unified number, which is 199-099. You can also text the SMS, your concern or request to the same number. You could reach it through the web, so you just type www.199-099.gov.sa and you will reach the website, which I will show shortly. You can also click to chat. You can have live chat, which gives you a similar experience to the experience Abdalla had in his request for his anniversary. The same thing you can do using a tweet, using Facebook, a posting on it. You could use it, reach it by email, and also you can reach it by fax for areas or places that are less fortunate in terms of availability of services of internet access. So these are 8 channels available today, and more channels are being introduced as customers requested. For example, one of the services that were requested, the channels that was requested by people who do not carry smartphones. I mean, we know that something like 40% of the community in Saudi Arabia do not carry smartphones yet. The drivers, the technicians, the people who, the large screen does not go with the nature of the work. So it has to be a smaller screen. It has to be the so-called feature phone. So how do you provide services to carriers of people who are carrying a feature phone, not a smartphone? So we are going with the USSD, which is a channel that exists. It's a part of the GSM network itself. So wherever you have GSM, wherever your phone works, USSD works, even if internet services are not available. So we are trying to explore various ways to reach the customers and allow the customers to reach us. This is how the portal looks like. It is designed in a metro design, so it will work on your smartphone exactly the way it works on your tablet, exactly the way it works on your notebook or PC. This is how the icon looks like on the national portal. So if you go to the national portal and just click on Amir, it will take you to the 8 channels available. You select the channel and you can start typing your request or clicking to chat or sending an email directly from the available channels. There are certain number of agencies that have already subscribed to the service, like the Ministry of Civil Services, the SADAD services for Ministry of Interior Services. We have the Department of Zakah and Income Tax, and a few other agencies are also subscribed to the service, and we have at least 22 other government agencies in the pipeline, and they will be launched in sequence, bi'idhnillah. We're expecting at least 6 or 7 additional agencies to join the center before the end of the year. This graph is illustrating the total transactions that took place since the beginning of the service. It actually officially launched in April, 15th of April, 2013. So it's almost 1 year right now. It started slow, but as more services were introduced and people got to know about the service and the icon started appearing on the various channels, people started to utilize the service. And you will notice the peak, for example, in February this year, when Jadara the third run of Jadara by the Ministry of Civil Service was announced. We had a large number of hits for people inquiring, asking for information, or people following up with their cases that are logged on Jadara system. This is showing the various channels that are used and the utilization of these channels. And it is obvious that a telephone call is still the most preferred channel for people to reach the call center. And there are several reasons for this. People are carrying their phones everywhere, so they can call much easier than any other channel, especially for those who do not have internet access in their phones, or in an area that does not have internet access, so they can reach. Today, especially for when you look at the segmentation of the various people who are calling, people who are more than 50 years old prefer a phone call. So they're utilizing the phone call to talk to someone who understands the problem, who reacts to the problem, and the criteria used is that when you call me by the phone, I give you the choice. Do you want me to respond to you if I need to validate or check and get more information? Do you want me to call you back? Do you want me to email you? Do you want me to SMS you? How do you want me to reach you? So we always call back the customer to communicate and convey more information if needed, or status if it was not available online on the spot when he or she called. And this center is 24/7, around the clock. So the majority of the people are still utilizing the IVR system. They are using the telephone calling. But the other channels are gradually picking speed. Like the SMS is still taking a good number. Click to chat seems to be another very favorite channel for people to communicate, because they feel I am communicating with someone on the other end. It's almost live. Actually, it is live, but they feel that even if I'm not talking to someone, when I type, the person on the other end is seeing my message on the spot. So click to chat seems to be picking ground quite frequently. The tweets and the publishing or the replies on Facebook did not pick up speed at the very beginning, but right now it is picking up because they see response. When they tweet something, they get a reply. When they post something, they get a reply. Email again was actually the first, the favorite channel, but with the introduction and availability of other channels, it became not the favorite channel. The click to chat and the call. So we're keeping all the channels open, and we are allowing anyone to utilize any one of the 8 channels today, or the more channels that will be introduced shortly, to provide the services. And we welcome all the government agencies to utilize the service because it works. Thank you.
Very interesting topic that we are having these kind of calls, contact center. So we'll get back to you. I have written some questions that is very interesting to what you have mentioned. I would like to welcome Brother Ahmed Afifi for his speech. He's going to give us a brief about support service and solution for effective and efficient functioning.
First of all, assalamu alaikum. Hope everybody's doing okay. I'd like to start by saying that thank you to my fellow panelists with the information that they've shared so far on the initiatives that the Saudi government has already put in place to evolve the call center / contact center / engagement center to the rising customer expectations. The decision of moving or creating an omni-channel or a multi-channel contact center is no longer an organization's choice. The end users, which are our customers, have already gone multi-channel. They've already started using the different channels, like you said, if voice is still going to remain your biggest channel, people feel more comfortable speaking to a human being at the end of the day. They feel trust. They feel that they can listen to someone and someone can understand their concerns. So voice is still going to remain a huge factor in the contact center industry, but the evolving youth of this country and other countries in the Middle East have gone to using other channels like Facebook and Twitter and mobile apps and websites and click to chat. Even nowadays, there's a new channel that's picked up in the Middle East, which is blogs, internet blogs. So there are organizations that run their own blogs that people can come in and say their comments, and organizations reply to them. So the choice is no longer the government's or the organization's choice. It is something that we have to keep up with in terms of industry standards. Today, you asked me a question this morning, or I think it was yesterday. What is the biggest difference between, or what is the difference between the call center and the contact center industry? 10 years ago, maybe even a little bit more, it was just a call center. Like my fellow panelists said, it was basically just a voice interaction where people can call in, they inquire about something, they get it fixed, and they hang up. Then it moved from the call center to the contact center. Due to the multi-channels, because basically what contact center is basically, or contact center experience is basically navigating the customer experience through the different channels that customers could interact with for a certain organization. Industry analysts are saying that needs to change again. So it's no longer contact center industry or contact center experience management. It is customer engagement experience management. And the biggest difference is, like I said, with contact center management is, contact center management is basically navigating the customer experience with their contextual data and being able to have a call center agent, if a customer calls in through voice or through Facebook or whatever the channels are, to have that same personalized profile of that person and seeing that customer information across all the channels. What customer engagement is basically utilizing that data to engage with the customer or the end user at a certain point, creating a certain process that would engage with that customer based on the certain request he put in place. For example, we look at mobile apps where people could click to call a customer, click to call an organization. Now, let's say that person is buying a gift basket, hypothetically speaking, buying a gift basket on that specific date, right? Now, for my information as a contact center or a customer engagement center, I know your anniversary now, right? So what a customer engagement center is basically putting processes in place to reach out, as an example for marketing purposes, for that person and using that same mobile app that you use to purchase or that website or that email is to push certain information. It could be marketing information, it could be surveys, it could be customer satisfaction reports. It could be dependent on the different engagement that you did with that organization. Contact centers, as of now, are not all of them, but obviously, alhamdulillah, we are way more advanced than a lot of countries within the region. They're reactive. They're stagnant. It's based on customer requests, so they are not really proactive as they should, based on customer expectations. Customer expectations are rising. If you look at this beloved country, we have close to 30 million inhabitants, which means there's an opportunity for the government really serves 30 million people. If we keep relying or we stay on the same stagnant methods that were state of the art a couple of years back, customer expectations and customer satisfaction will drop dramatically. Until today, I ask everybody in the audience that their experience dealing or there's a trust issue that they feel when doing any government transaction, any governmental transaction. They feel, oh, it's going to take me some time. There's a lot of bureaucracy. I have to there's many processes that we have to go through. There's a lot of paperwork I have to fill. Streamlining that process would allow your contact center or your engagement center what our solution or what any solution in the industry nowadays helps organization does is streamline the process so you, one, cut on your, it basically optimizes your cost. Like my fellow panelists said, the contact center industry is a very high turnover industry. Agents, and one of the biggest reasons is because if you speak to one contact center agent in the governmental sector today, and ask him what are your major challenges, he'll say, I have multiple screens I have to look at. There's multiple passwords I have to look at. There's plenty of information. There's other departments I have to deal with. It's very challenging. The interface might not, I don't have one interface, I have multiple interfaces. So that's one of the reasons that they feel very challenged delivering the expected level of service that us as end users expect. Industry analysts have done recent reports that ask end users, what are your preferred methods today in reaching organizations? Like we said, voice is still going to remain the highest. 3 years from now, which is not very far, and they've asked them, people are going to be, I mean, we're using tools and methods now that were not available maybe only 5 years ago, which are voice integrated with SMS, with email, with fax. These were our solutions that were not available a couple of years ago. But if you look at the demand of that now, it evolved very quick. People are moving towards those omni-channels or multi-channels very quick. So having a customer engagement center that allows, or a tool or an application or a solution that allows to integrate with every application that the call center agent could use and have a single interface that allows them to interact with an end user who's 20 years old or an end user who's 70 years old through voice or through a blog or a mobile app. Mobile penetration in this country is close to 190%. So yes, there are a remaining 40% or 30% that still don't have smartphones and still heavily rely on voice, and yet we are still choosing other methods to try to reach to them except voice, like USSD or USSD. So it's important to have the tool that will allow you to engage with those customers regardless what method they use. Because at the end of the day, one of the biggest customer experience factors that every human being relies on is word of mouth. So if you have an experience, now based on your experience and your anniversary, I know that if you gave me that website or you gave me that company, I know that that company provides great service just because of your experience explaining it. So word of mouth and experience and people sharing that information now is so easy because of the different sharing websites out there, like Facebook and Twitter and so on. So, and that's really the more advanced word of mouth of today, which is social media. So again, having a tool that allows you to interact with your end users through all these channels is what customers expect today at the end of the day. So thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
I would like to start with you, Mr. Ahmad AlKhiary. I have a question about the AMR contact center. We know that you serve in different government agencies. I would like to ask about what is the operating model that you are using, because serving all these government agencies, it needs a very solid operating system. Can you just elaborate that with us?
Okay. In principle, we thought we can either build a call center ourselves from scratch, or we can outsource the function to someone who does it well under our control and under our measures and the service level agreements, which is the approach we followed. In the current run of AMR, we outsource the function to one of the organizations that has a very solid experience in the subject, so that we are not starting from scratch. We're starting from a good, solid running function, but we isolated our part of the infrastructure, for example. So it's our own channels, our own IVR, our own voice gateway, our own CRM, our own everything, and in their facility. So it's a caged facility within their data center. It's our own team under their umbrella. It is our own knowledge base under their own operation. So it's an outsourced function, yet 100% controlled by government. So this is the current model that we're following, and we are almost halfway through right now. But we are exploring other options for the future of Amir. What is the best way to deliver this service so that it can deliver higher quality, continuous improvement, and better service?
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. I would like to ask Mr. Abdul can you mention some of the benefits that you gain from your contact center?
Yeah, actually, since it is operating globally, now we are supporting all SABIC employees from one location, and we are utilizing the technology. We have a global wide area network globally for SABIC, and we are receiving the calls from America, from Asia, and from Europe through our networks, free of charge. And beside that, we have reduced the interruption we used to have to the business. You know, everyone knows that IT is a PC, or the IT itself. It's very important for the people in the plants, people in the financials. They don't accept any downtime for their PCs. So with having a very strong and with an automated processes into the back end of the contact center, people would call a common number within SABIC, which is 1010, and they would resume their duties immediately. So the downtime we have and the business interruptions are very minimal after implementing the contact center.
Good. I would like, just from your answer, can I say that you are linking even your call center with the unified system that you have, unified communication system, so your employees can immediately contact with you within their PC? They can have a phone call and communicate with the call center?
Exactly. Actually, we do have an IP telephony structure. Good. Where customers, 40,000 customers, they can just dial 1010 from anywhere in the world, and they would be reaching our contact center. And also we have a means of communication through chat and Microsoft Link, where they can reach us directly 24/7.
Thank you. My question to Mr. Ahmed, since you are working in this industry, I have two questions, and we left with very few minutes. My question is that, what are the steps that you advise any government agencies should take to establish its own contact center?
Very interesting question. Okay, so I think the model that you've put in place, where having someone who's experienced in the call center industry, in the operations side of it, like organizations that are BPO or business process outsourcing organizations, that their main function is basically managing the customer experience, but under your management or under the umbrella of your team, would be the best scenario, just because of the complexity of the governmental solutions that needs to be provided. But again, at the end of the day, like we said initially, the solution, what customer expectations are, today we have close to 77% of every user today uses more than one channel to reach a contact center or an organization, whether it's voice, email, whatever the channels are. It's important to have the solution, regardless if it's outsourced or not, that would cater for that, because if we don't, because as I said, customer expectations, people are already using their phones on Facebook and so on. If the organization, there's a huge gap if that does not happen. If you do not have the right set of tools, or the call center does not have the right set of tools to close that gap, then your customer experience would deteriorate dramatically. So.
My last question is that the difference between the customer experience and customer engagement.
Yeah, we kind of spoke about it. I also touched the point. Anyway, I hope I only have 40 seconds. I don't think I can do it in 40 seconds, but like I said, the contact center experience management is basically manipulating customer contact and customer context within an organization through the different channels, and customer engagement is basically using that contextual data and customer information to engage and put certain business rules that would engage with that customer at a certain point, if it's an inbound or outbound or written or video or voice experience, and engaging with them at the right time with the right process, whether it's marketing, sales, customer sat, or so on. So
Thank you very much.
I only had 30 seconds, so I'm sorry.
We have some questions from our audience. Can I start with?
Dr. Mohammed Ashaibi, NIC. Just my quick question. We in NIC, we have had a help desk similar to the SABIC one that serves the MOI employees. We started it actually before 2000. However, when we exposed our e-services through our MI portal, now radically we changed from, let's say, serving 80,000 or 100,000 employees. Now we are serving, like you mentioned, 30 million people. So we decided to outsource, which is the same decision as Yasser selected, to run our MOI portal. However, to be honest, we're not very happy, and maybe the customers who have interacted with our help desk are not happy with the service, although we've provided the same channels that you are offering. We've gone through Facebook, Twitter, and all the other channels. However, with my engagement with the citizens and residents, they're not happy. And basically because the questions are very difficult to solve, the back-end problems are very manipulative. So if I was thinking if I have a direct relationship with a company and I'm getting bad customer service based on the resident or citizen, I can't renew my iqama through the portal. I'm not able to log on. The agent doesn't, this is one system and there are many components before he gets his transactions. He goes to the web server, the authentication server, the backend. There are many different components. It's very difficult for him, so he will just take this information and pass it on, and it will be very frustrating. Customers want to call immediately and have their problem resolved. Also, there is another issue, is the authentication, especially if I want to issue. Are you the person who wants to issue this exit visa? How do I know that you are the person? You know, even the banks, when they have this, they will verify that you are who you are before they reset the password. In some services, it's critical. You don't want people to sell your car without your knowledge or to do. So for me to outsource, it's not just to take an order, maybe a phone. I want to buy I want to buy some books or a notebook or computer. It is a service, and the service is tied to a citizen, and there's authentication, and there's privacy and security. So our experience with outsourcing hasn't been very successful. So I was thinking of, okay, if I want to use your Amir National, what guarantees that you will be any better to the one that I'm currently having? Or I'm just passing my problem to make it your problem.
Okay. In principle, what you're saying is absolutely right, and we have gone through the same scenario with the other agencies who had similar concerns, like Department of Zakah or Ministry of Civil Service. The authentication process is an important component that I make sure that the guy speaking to me, or the person, male or female, speaking to me is the right person. We go through an authentication process, which we can take in details if you wish offline because of the limitation of time. But we do have that in place. We also have a full integration that takes place between the back-end systems and Amir system, CRM, so that the information necessary for the agent to respond correctly to the caller would be available to him or her. This, for example, has taken several steps. With the Department of Zakah, for example, we have integrated with almost 80% of their back-end systems so that we can properly respond to the caller with the right information. That why my certificate was not issued when I tried to renew it through the Department of Zakah portal. Because of 1, 2, 3. This thing was not done because of this thing was not done because of that, your request was denied. So knowing the system, the back-end system, makes it possible for the agent to do this. Now this becomes difficult it's easy when you are dealing with one organization with a limited number of services. Like when I am serving McDonald's only, or FlyNAS only, or SABIC only, it becomes easier because it's a limited number of services and I can excel in it. But when I am handling about 4,000 plus services for more than 170 government agencies, it becomes a nightmare. How are we doing it? We segmented the team into two groups. One group is a generic group, people who respond to information inquiries, and a specialized team who respond to a specialized agency request. So a special team for labor-related services. So today we are serving Ministry of Civil Service. Tomorrow we hope we'll be able to serve HRDF, GUSI, Ministry of Labor, and others in the same domain. After that, we will have a health, for example, team. After that, we will have an education and higher education specialized team. This team will be focused on the services and the detail behind the services for that specific caller, so that we can answer with confidence.
Thank you very much. Are we left with time for another questions?
السلام عليكم. دكتور أحمد، بالنسبة للقائمة اللي أنا سويت يعني كلمت السنتر 199099، الآن عندكم 7 تقريبا، القائمة فيها 7، يعني اختار من 1 إلى 7. إذا صارت 100 ولا 200 كيف بتسوون فيها؟ يعني إذا مثلا أنا طلبت والحكومة، يعني مثلا كل قطاع بيطلب، وش يعني أجلس أنتظر من 1 إلى 100 مثلا، كم بياخذ مني من الوقت؟ شكرا.
القائمة حقيقة في نهاية المطاف حتشمل إن شاء الله حتشمل جميع القطاعات الحكومية، مما يعني أنها حتكون اللي هي عندهم ميزانيات مستقلة، مما يعني حتكون تقريبا 170 منشأة. في النظام الجديد حق الIVR سيطلق بإذن الله تعالى يمكن خلال أسبوعين من الآن. معنا مدير المنتج المهندس مازن الخطيب، وممكن تفاصيل يوافينا بها. ولكن الإصدار الجديد من الIVR حيطلق بعد أيام بإذن الله تعالى من الآن، حيشمل انك تدخل رقم الجهه. ورقم الجهه، طبعا انا ما عندي رقم الجهه، ادخل قاف قائمه مثلا بجوالك، ترسل قاف مثلا ل 199099 يرسل لك قائمه الجهات المشتركه انت عارف كل جهه بالضبط كم رقمها، فتدخل رقم الجهه ياخذك عليها مباشره، بحيث انك ما تحتاج تستمع الى كامل القائمه، لانه الاستماع الى كامل القائمه ما هو عملي. فإذا حبيت أنك أنت تستمع إلى كامل القائمة حتكون أحد الاختيارات، ولكنها ليست الاختيار المحبذ، فتستطيع إدخال رقم الجهة بشكل مباشر. فالقائمة حتكون موجودة على موقع آمر، حتكون موجودة على يعني برسالة ممكن تجيك على جوالك بشكل مباشر، ممكن ترسل لك بالفاكس، ممكن ترسل لك بالإيميل. جميع القنوات المتاحة للتواصل تستطيع الحصول على قائمة الجهات من خلالها، فتقدر توصل للجهة اللي أنت تبغى خدماتها بشكل مباشر بإذن الله. شكرا لك على السؤال.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed. Thank you very much to the audience. We conclude this panel that it is very important to have a contact center, but we have to be very careful to study the success criteria of a call center. As our speakers mentioned, that having a unified call center is very important for the kingdom. We are outsourcing as a Ministry of Labor, but what you mentioned is very valid. We have to be careful about giving our services to an outsourcing agency. Thank you very much, everybody.